This is not good. I don't think the rain is going to let up so soon. Looks like I have to shoot B-roll another time. Okay, so you guys want to find out why I switched over from the Sony a6000 to this camera I'm using right over here, the a6300. Yes. So this is the camera I'm ditching. There are a few factors why I am ditching this camera in favor of the a6300. Now, I'm not saying that the a6000 is a terrible camera. It's not. I love this camera. This was my very first mirrorless camera, and I got this because it was so affordable. 2 years ago, I bought this for about 500 Singapore dollars, both the kit lens and the body, so it was really cheap. And I love this camera because it is so small, so light, and it was with this camera that I gained first-hand experience about how to manage my ISO, shutter speed and aperture. But soon I felt that this camera is restricting me in several ways. This camera doesn't shoot in 4K, but that's fine with me because I don't really shoot in 4K that much. My shots are mostly in 1080p and I intend to keep it that way. But sometimes I want to shoot in slow-mo, and this camera doesn't have the ability to shoot 120 frames per second, which the a6300 has. This camera also doesn't have a microphone port, so I'm not able to attach like microphones from other brands such as Rode. And the third major factor why I'm switching this camera for the a6300 is because of its overheating problem. If I'm shooting 1080p video with this camera, it will just overheat 15 minutes into the shoot and shut off automatically. Whereas if I'm shooting with the a6300, I could be shooting for the full 30 minutes with no auto shutdown, which is great. And all these advantages that the a6300 afforded to me was important because I want to shoot outdoors. I want to be able to take my camera to an event. I want to have the ability to fit in a mic of my choosing and record great audio onto the video directly without me having to sync the audio and video up in post. And for a vlogger, for a content creator, this ability to dramatically shorten my workflow is probably one of the main reasons why I'm getting an a6300. And the a6300 is just, I think, only 20 grams or 50 grams heavier than the a6000, and that to me was a huge advantage. I get to keep all these features and all these accessories while keeping the weight down. And being able to keep the weight down is a big advantage for me because I could add on accessories like a microphone, a better tripod, and it will still be a lightweight rig for me. I mean, I did think of switching over to other brands like Panasonic, and Panasonic mirrorless cameras do offer a few advantages over Sony's Alpha series. For example, a flip-out screen. I mean, all the Sony cameras still don't have a flip-out screen, and that was one of the factors that got me thinking in the first place. But it's just about the weight. You know, I can get all these new features and still keep the weight down, and that is very important to me because I get invited to events a lot. And when I'm at these events, I think something lightweight and compact is gonna offer more of an advantage to me. Okay guys, let me show you my a6300 setup. This is what I have right now. Okay, so this is what I'm using. I'm using a Adobe Gorilla Pod. Okay, this is the camera, and this, my friends, is the Rode Videomic Pro Plus. Yeah, so the Rode microphone looks very impressive, right? Yeah, in fact, I'm heading to an event right now, and this is the setup I'm going to use. Let me just pack up and let's get a move on. I'm quite impressed with the work they put out. According to the chief artist, it took them only a few weeks to get everything done up, you know. All the toys here are hand painted and spray painted, and that makes it even more impressive. Okay, at this point I don't know what's going on here. So, but I think a few Japanese guys have arrived. Ooh, refreshments. Ah. Hi, may I have a coffee please?
Sorry? Coffee?
May I have a coffee? Yeah.
Oh, would you like long black with milk or without milk?
I think I'll have with milk, please.
Welcome, here you go. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a great chance to have my quick fix. Wow, it's not bad really. Speaking about quick fix, it seems as if the entire week, my entire week was spent fixing stuff. First, I fixed the fact I didn't have a true vlogging setup. Now that's fixed with the Rode Videomic Pro Plus and the a6300. But there's one more thing I need to fix. This thing's f***ed. I gotta go get it fixed. And this is the place where I'm gonna fix it at. Come with me. Hi guys, where is the Genius bar?
Do you have an appointment?
Yeah, I have an appointment.
Sure, that will be at the second floor. You can take my, you'll be able to see my clip near the staircase there.
Second floor, right?
Yep.
Okay, great, thank you. This is like my first time to the Apple store. I really hope their service is good. So I've got a problem with the battery and yeah, I'm just looking for the Genius bar. Is this it? Where's the Genius bar?
Yeah, it's right here. How can I help you? The appointment at 12:40 currently was cancelled because you're not here. Let me just...
I was late, so my appointment got cancelled.
Okay. Right, can get you seated
okay?
at the last table?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So last table there. Alright, thanks a lot. Okay, so they're still waiting to serve me, huh? It's down. Okay, so the issue was definitely the battery. What has been happening in my MacBook Pro is that I'll be using it and suddenly it shuts off at 30 to 40% battery. And this is not normal, right? So I did a quick Google search and found out that this is a known issue with MacBook Pros manufactured in 2016 without the touch bar. And then Apple is providing a free battery replacement program for this issue. And that is awesome. That's why I'm here. So let me talk about my experience here. I sat down with an Apple genius and she ran a quick diagnostics of my MacBook Pro and found out that indeed it was the battery. So they will be doing a replacement of the battery and also they will replace the keyboard and the touch bar as well, because apparently this the battery, keyboard and touch bar are all one single unit or something, I don't know. So the whole process was rather smooth, and what's even better is that it's free. When she showed me the bill of what the costs would be if I had to pay, it came up to 474 Singapore dollars. That is crazy, right? But because it was covered under Apple's battery replacement program, so it turned out to be free, and I am so thankful for that. So in short, my first experience at the Apple store is a positive one, and I recommend you guys, if you're in Singapore, living in Singapore, come over here and check it out. It's a pretty cool store. Let's go and take a look. By the way guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't already, and remember to ring the bell to join my notification squad, because I upload videos every single week, and this is the only way you'll get notified. And if you want to support this channel, you can do so by feeding me coffee through Patreon or PayPal. Links are in the description, and I thank you in advance for your cups of fragrant love. Once again, my name is Aaron. You're watching Aaron is Loud and Wireless. This is the best tech review channel on YouTube from Singapore. So thank you guys for watching, and I see you in the next video, okay? Facepalm out!